that. And I know like another situation, like you were talking about your first situation of, hitting the brakes and,
Oh
falling over and all
yes.
that. Well, nothing happened to me like that, but like one thing, maybe it's not really that embarrassing, but like I've never learned how to ride a bike. Like I don't even know how to ride a bike to this day. Like
No,
I've only learned how to ride scooters. So,
that's something, right? I mean, it's not a bike, but it's something.
yeah, so yeah, we weren't really the outdoorsy kind of family. We were more of like staying inside and playing Mario Kart and games like that. But every now and then, very rarely, we would go outside and we would have scooters. Like some of my older siblings would have road bikes, but like some reason I never learned, and I still haven't learned to this day. So like if there's ever an opportunity for me to ride a bike, I'm scared to get on it because I'm afraid I'm going to get killed in traffic. So it's like, let me go practice at a park or a parking lot or something like that.
You're
So
gonna
that's,
get killed in traffic.
yeah, I just pictured
You're
us.
not wrong. You're not wrong though. You have no idea how many people do not like bicyclists that ride on the road.
Yeah, that would have me
there,
so nervous.
there's some people that just don't like them. Like me, I give them their space and I give them their. I'm just like, okay, buddy, you do your thing, ride your bike. But yeah,
Yeah.
continue. So,
Oh yeah, I was just thinking about like, yeah, speaking of that, I'm just picturing people riding on the side and I just like, please don't fall over while I'm driving. Like, please, the moment that
oh
I'm
no,
driving,
no.
it's like of all times, please keep your composure and your balance. Like, I do not want to run over anybody. So yeah, so that's something I still want to learn is how to ride a bike. That's still something new, for me that uh lots of just I've always been team scooter when I was younger.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I actually I liked. As a matter of fact, now I think about it, I liked a lot of stuff. Like I actually know how to skateboard, ride a scooter, roller skate. You roller skate?
Mm-hmm. It's a
I like
good
roller
time.
skating. Riding a bike. Now riding a bike and riding a motorcycle, it's two different things. And I'm kind of scared of riding a motorcycle, but I want to learn. But either way, yeah. Yeah, I was actually a really huge outside kid. Like we used to BMX and mountain riding the mountains with the mountain bikes and stuff like that. Like we used to, my parents didn't see us all afternoon, and they would get mad because we'd come home all dirty, red dirt everywhere, and we were out far away somewhere, and they were like, where do you guys even go?" Well, I don't know. We found these mountains all the way there somewhere. And they were not like that. They were like, "Oh no, you can't be out there." They're actually very concerned, and we got in trouble a lot because of it. But we were kind of like those kids that didn't listen and did it anyways. And we'd be like, "No, we weren't over there. We were, but I see the red dirt on your shoes. We weren't over there. It was the other side of over there. Like we were not over there on that side. You said not to go on that side, but we went that way." You as a kid, you don't sound convincing at all. Like,
Yeah.
get inside your room. You're grounded for like a whole month. You're not playing PlayStation. I was like, no,
Yeah,
no.
those are funny.
that's that's another some other embarrassing moments. Is when your parents get on to you in public, and or they smack you in front of your friends. You're like being rude. Like, hmm? Hmm? Definitely sleeping in church. That's another embarrassing thing to happen to someone. And I'm not saying that because of me, but my little brother, I mean, I guess I could share some of his embarrassing moments too, right?
Sure.
This dude, we were in church when I was standing up, and then we got on our knees to pray, and there was in that prayer he fell asleep, and he was like in fetal position, but like facing the floor on his knees. And everybody else stood up and they were fixing to, I guess, sing a hymn. I think it was at that point where they were going to sing a hymn. And he was still on the floor in fetal position. And my mom looks at me and she goes, like, wait, that's the sign for wake your brother up. I was like, I looked down, I was like, oh, oh, hey, hey, get up. And then he was like, drool like coming down his face. This was epic. I was like, oh, and he like got up, and he's lighter skin tone than I am. He's as pale as my dad. So he turned super red, and it was so noticeable. And he looked over at my mom, and you can immediately tell from her face she was gonna whoop his butt after church. And then, and then his face got super red and embarrassed, and he was like, "Oh!" He just did this wheezing noise. It's weird. It was
Oh
funny
my
though.
gosh. Yeah, I've never fallen asleep in church, and I've actually never fallen asleep in school either. Well, actually, no. Let me backtrack. That actually did happen once in second grade, I think. But besides that, like I don't think it was a embarrassing moment. But I can share a friend's embarrassing story with falling asleep in class. Sorry to that friend. I won't say your name, but
Yeah,
I'll say your because it was in Spanish class with Miss Lanham, I think was her name. I think that's
think
her
so.
name. But anyway, it was my 10th grade year, our sophomore year, and we had like a mixture of like juniors and seniors and sophomores in there. And anyway, one of my friends, he was in that class with me, but like we weren't sitting together as we were sitting in alphabetical order. And like my name just so happened to be like I was starting a new row. So I had to sit at the very front of class, but my friend was sitting in the very back. And anyway, like he would always fall asleep. And for some reason in that class, like we had to choose like a Hispanic name to go by in that class. And I remember mine was like Luis, and my friend's his name was Carlos in class. So I'm just gonna say his name's Carlos. He'll know who he is. But anyways, he would always fall asleep in class. And like the teacher, like she would always be like, Carlos, baby. She would like, Carlos, baby, it's time to get up. And like she would sometimes have to go back there to him as he sometimes in a deep sleep. It's like so I was thinking about that too. Every time I think about people falling asleep in class, I think about like that moment. It seemed like he was always sleeping in Spanish class, but I was not because as I was a good student. I was a good noodle.
You're a
SpongeBob
good noodle.
reference.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, good noodle. I
So
was actually I always fell asleep after lunch in this Odom's class. Like we would eat lunch, and I found out why. It was my metabolism. Like after I ate, I just got so sleepy, and like I fell asleep in her class so much. But like whenever I got embarrassed to the point where she would ask me to get up and like solve a problem on the board, and I would get it wrong, and I'd be like, God, I really hate that. So I stayed up for notes for like a whole week or two. And now whenever she would ask me to go up and solve a problem on the board, I would actually solve it and get it right. She'd be like, "You little," and I'd just get down and go back to sleep.
yeah, goodbye.
All right, thank you, Mr. Odom. I'll see you later. I'm gonna go to sleep now because I got full belly.
Yeah, some people are like that. Like especially on Thanksgiving, some people need a Thanksgiving nap after they're done eating because they're so full. They're like, I
Oh
just need the
yeah,
rest.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Speaking of eating, I actually have a somewhat of an embarrassing story about eating. So, it was during the holidays, it was Christmas time, and we were hanging up our Christmas tree, putting up the Christmas tree and hanging up the ornaments and stuff like that on it. And anyway, we had popcorn like just to kind of eat. And like those little like popcorn kernels that don't pop all the way? Like
Yes.
yeah, like I put one in my mouth and it tasted different. I was thinking, ooh, it's like that tasted awful. So like I
I've,
spit it out.
I've done that.
So I spit it out and it was not a popcorn kernel. It was a ladybug. So so I was thinking, oh, and my family was looking at me because I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't know why, like my sister still reminds me of it to this day. I crack up thinking about it now, but for some reason my hands went up like this. And I was like, I eat a ladybug. And like I said it like that fast, and everybody started busting out laughing. And to this day, I just love thinking about that happened. Like I'm so glad I ate that ladybug. But I feel like ever since I ate that ladybug, I can like smell a ladybug. Like whenever, like I don't know
Yes.
why, like they have like a distinct smell, and they smell
It's
how they
almost like
taste.
this. Yeah, that's oh God. That's actually, you know what? I know what it tastes like because I used to work in tree service. Ah, that's a good embarrassing moment to share. I used to work for a tree service company and yeah, I used to get ladybugs flying everywhere. Yeah, it was bad. They do taste how they smell, and it's disgusting. They pee on you. But anyways, there was this one time where I was cutting a tree and it was from the very bottom, the base of it. And it wasn't big trees. They were probably like maybe that big around. They weren't that big. And I remember that as I was cutting these down,